All right, welcome back, everybody. This is JP Trades. We are starting a new week as well as a new month today. So we do have a lot of levels to update as far as our high time frame levels on the daily, weekly, and monthly. So this gives us a lot of new trades to open up with for the start of the week and the start of the month, which is great. Hopefully we continue on some nice volatility that pretty much looks like it started last night. So let's hop into last night's trade first. And we can see right here from our order of supply, which is the order block, we had a beautiful setup, a 22R trade. Now, if you had $100 risk on this trade, you would have returned $2,200. It's a massive, massive return. And this was a beautiful setup. Very, very easy, obvious setup if you trade with my concepts. Again, we had a order block of supply. We had some high time frame volume levels here as well. We had a Wyckoff Model 2 distribution. And this was also a really, really nice golden pocket retest. Again, if you understand everything I teach and my foundational concepts, this would have been a very easy and obvious trade setup. And again, you could have targeted your liquidity lows or your golden pocket of this range. Again, let's go ahead and pull that back. And we see that we hit this golden pocket, or rather an order block inside this golden pocket. So another very refined zone. Again, if you understand all the tools I use together in my hybrid concepts, you would have gotten this very, very easily, very clearly. This was not a hard trade to get into or hard trade to spot. These are the types of trades that repeat themselves over and over and over again on the charts. So now that we have gone over yesterday's trade, let's just go ahead and take all these mitigated order blocks. Actually, I'm going to leave this one on here since it's a very shallow mitigation. Okay, so first things I want to do is let's turn all this off. Let's clear the charts up, make this really nice and clean. So we can see here on the daily time frame, we are continuing in this downtrend. So could this be your lower high to go ahead and continue this downtrend on? That's what we are expecting so far. However, we still need to cross and close below this low to confirm that. On the 4 hour, the 4 hour still did not break your 4 hour high that we used to have back here when all you saw was this. But we did SFP this high, which means that we're going to usually have a nice short down when we SFP a 4 hour high. So now we also see that we're SFPing some internal 4 hour lows, which could also lead to a nice bounce here. And again, we are at the golden pocket as well as an order block, like I explained before. So this could be a very, very nice reversal here. However, you're still under VWAP and you had a massive sell-off, but it was basically a weekend sell-off. So I would love for this thing to come back up, take out these weekend players and liquidate them out of their positions and then run. So we need to understand that we are still in that daily continuation of a bearish downtrend. And now we did break our lows here, which was the 1 hour and 4 hour uptrend lows of this market structure leg here. So we have flipped back bearish on a lot of time frames. Now, if we come down to the 15, we still have not flipped back bullish even on the 15 just yet. So everything is pointing down currently. Let's go back to our 4 hour. And let's see what our trade setups look like in this range here. So again, we are currently at the golden pocket. So we are currently in the discount section of this range. However, we could go deeper into this discount of this range, or we could just take it out completely and continue on our daily downtrend. Let's put our levels and order blocks back on and start dissecting this down a little bit more. We have a very high confluence level, very high volume level right here. This level here, I would short this almost blindly. Now, don't do that. Wait for your confirmations. But I'm just telling you, this level, watch like a hawk. Put several alerts before price gets to this zone. You're going to want to watch this zone for a short. Watch for market structure shift back, bearish. Watch for your other confirmations. Again, if you know my concepts, you know exactly what I'm looking for in greater detail. We do also have some newly formed supply order blocks right here at VWAP, as well as our new daily and new weekly levels. So these are very high time frame volume levels as well. And on a higher time frame, you can see that we also had a breaker block right here that we are rejecting from currently. So at the moment, the way it sits is I would be looking for another drop down, because until we reclaim VWAP, this gray line here, I am not getting bullish, and I am not thinking that we're going to bounce here. And in fact, we have some order blocks down here with some very nice high volume confluence. So my bias is to short from these levels down to here, and then look for the long here, right around this area. Again, you have to wait for your confirmations. You're not taking trades blindly. Now, what are some other scenarios? Let's pull this back over to the 4 hour. And again, we could be making that rejection right now already. However, we could be ranging right here. So another scenario, again, I say this ad nauseum over and over and over again. We have a fast move up, which will usually create a fast move down. When we have fast or big moves, a big impulse, a big imbalance, we usually try to find a balanced range, knock out both sides, and then create the move. So we could just be ranging right here, and then you sweep the highs, and then sweep the lows, and then you go, okay? So again, set your alerts here, and then also set your alerts here, because you're going to want to see if this has a very big SFP at some point to knock out these lows who have already longed, as well as these lows here. You could have a massive SFP, quick dip down, and then run. Same thing at this level here. If we do decide to work our way down, I would want to see that same SFP of this daily continuation break of structure. Why? Because that would trap the most sellers, which would create a rocket fuel up in an SFP or sweep of liquidity move. So same thing to the upside as we were watching last week, this level, same thing applies to this level. We could just go ahead and SF, if we do make our way above this level, you're going to want to watch for an SFP into these high volume levels, and then break back into the range and then break down. Otherwise, if we break above this with a strong candle close, then I'm looking to take this up and have a bullish market structure shift. Hence the 4-hour bullish market structure shift at this high. So to recap, set alerts here, set alerts before here, set alerts here to take this down, set alerts here, here, and here. Yes, each one of those are probably going to give you a nice trade. I don't just have 1 or 2 levels in the chart. Why? Because I scalp, day trade, and swing trade. Each one of these levels could lead to a very nice scalp trade to lead you back up to a newly created supply to then short down to these levels and vice versa. We come down here first, we could come up here and then short this, but I'm going to long here, up to here, then short. So the thing is, we don't know exactly which one of these levels are going to get hit when and in which order. However, every one of these levels are usually going to be very nice trades only as long as you have a confirmation. If you don't, then it's no trade, obviously. So with that said, that is my daily update for today. I will update y'all on the Discord. I do have a doctor's appointment this morning, so I probably won't be free until this afternoon. So you are on your own until then. However, you know my plan. You know what to look for. Stick to the plan, wait in your alerts to get hit, and watch for your confirmations. And I'll check y'all later.